They are Janice Strand-Wolf, Christine Kuhn, Lily Levesque-Eichhorn, Amy Power, and Amy Sauce.
Yay! Hey, you guys, for the last presentation. I'm Amy, this is Christine, this is Annie, Janice, and Lily, and we are Sonoma Food Runners. Could be. And this is my mommy, about 34 years ago. That's me on the right and my brother on the left. Ironically, I am the same age now, and I have a little boy and a little girl, and my mommy is home today taking care of them. I bet she never thought that she would be hungry. But this project started 6 years ago when I opened my mom's empty fridge and discovered a white tube of meat. Oh, I wasn't gonna cry, but I asked where she got it from, and she said that she was collecting food from the county. And they have great resources for people, but I tell you, I saw the food that she had. It was something that you would want your family to survive on. I'm gonna make it. That's okay. So anyhow, let's see. And meanwhile, I knew that supermarkets and farmers and restaurants and caterers were throwing away tons of food every day, and I thought there has to be a better way. So, first of all, she was a great inspiration with that kind of emotion. How could we not get Janice to join her? To illustrate a little bit of what Amy highlighted about good food going to waste, I'm going to give you a few statistics on food waste. 40% of food in the United States goes to waste. 54% of that occurs upstream before it ever even reaches the consumer. That leaves 46% of it to be wasted downstream during processing, distribution, and when we consume it or throw it away. Of all that waste, 97% of it ends up in the landfill and rots, emitting gases that harm the environment when it could have been composted or, if rescued earlier, could have been eaten. And to make matters worse, food waste is on the rise in the United States. A little global perspective, 1/3 of food produced for human consumption is wasted. That amounts to 1.3 billion tons of food a year. And the food produced but not eaten produces 3.3 billion tons of greenhouse gases every year. To give you a little perspective on that, that's the third leading cause behind the United States and China. And the gases that are emitted are methane, which are much more toxic and dangerous than CO2. There's implications to us going on about our busy lives and while we participate in throwing away 40% of our food. People we know are going hungry. The globe will continue to warm, having untold consequences. And really for us here in California, our record drought leaves us wondering if we're going to have enough water to grow the food that we need, that will then throw nearly half of it away. The consequences of doing nothing are actually really too big to ignore. If we care about our people and our planet, we need to do what we can where we can. And it's really time for all of us to understand the impact locally and act.
So, to adequately address the issue of hunger, we need to understand how it affects the community locally. 63,810 individuals are food insecure locally. And we heard not too long ago that our community has grown to almost 500,000, which is an astounding number. Food insecurity, as you can see up here, as defined by the Roman Empire Food Bank, is lacking reliable access to sufficient quantities of affordable and nutritious food. This statistic here translates to individuals making the decision between purchasing a meal to feed themselves or their family, or to have the ability to purchase other basic necessities to live here in our communities. There are currently, as of 2014 statistics, 35 million meals that are being missed by people in our communities. Imagine imagine your family being hungry.
Don't do it. Don't even imagine Oh, good, it's me again. So, about a year ago, Larry Tackett, who is a Leadership Institute fellow, mentioned to me a nonprofit in Marin called Respecting Our Elders. And Respecting Our Elders is run by Ruth and Kurt, two inspired citizens who, with their own van, pick up food at local supermarkets and deliver it to their neighbors in need. 10 years later, after starting this project and 100 volunteers later, they have greatly reduced the food insecure population in Marin. And when I found out that we would be doing a project for the Leadership Institute, I thought, aha, let's replicate Respecting Our Elders here in Sonoma County. And then I found myself with this amazing team of women. We contacted Ruth and Kurt. We went on a fantastic drive along, as you see here. And we were ready to begin a nonprofit and start respecting our elders in Sonoma County.
So we had some really great ideas. We had great intention and motivation, but our eyes and our hearts were bigger than our capabilities. And we began to realize we lacked the capacity to transform our vision into reality. So we were a bit disheartened and unsure how to proceed to actually accomplish something with our project. And we realized that leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. And to translate our project, our vision into reality, we needed to stay open to pivoting and changing our vision so that we would actually be able to accomplish something.
So we found ourselves at the Yuluko co-housing asking ourselves, what's next? What do we have? What do we need? We needed a fiscal sponsor, and we were armed with the Emerson Good Samaritan Bill Emerson Good Samaritan Food Donation Act, which is right there. And also this incredible network of people. So we're sitting there thinking, okay, what do we do? Took a little break, and mentioning Kevin again, I spoke with Kevin Kumataka back there. He's like, listening to what we're doing, and he's like, listen, you have to talk to this woman, June Michaels, sitting right here. Please stand up for just a second and raise your hand. Woohoo!
Leadership Institute fellow.
Absolutely. We contacted her, sitting right there, set up a meeting for Acre Coffee, and right there and then we began our relationship with Sonoma Food Runners and really were able to pivot. Oh, sorry. Where did this credit up? Yes, please. Thank you. So, a couple days later, we met with June. We realized that she had amazing, amazing passion and dedication, but she needed a little bit of help getting organized. Sounded a little bit like us, to be quite honest with you. She had a need for some infrastructure projects before we could really get Sonoma Food Runner up and running, and we had the skills to help her. Conversely, we needed the fiscal sponsor, as I mentioned before, and she was able to help us out with that. It was really a perfect partnership made in heaven. So with this partnership, we were able to find a way to make a difference in our community, to help tackle some of these issues that we've been talking about, and how to move the project forward without recreating the wheel. Seemed like a perfect match waiting to happen. We were invigorated, fired up, ready to go, and just ready to take the next steps. And what was amazing in this process of having our little bit of a trench was realizing just how important remaining flexible is while crafting innovative solutions.
So we move into our accomplishments, and one of our significant accomplishments was building a new website for Sonoma Food Runners. When we sat down with June to discuss her needs, infrastructure was really high on her list of priorities. She had press that wanted to do interviews and volunteers that wanted to help, but she hesitated to move forward because she lacked organizational structure. She really wanted to have a place for people to interface and engage with Sonoma Food Runners, and a website was one of those things. So I was able to take her, I took on the task of building a website, and was able to take her from the old blog-based website that looked like this, to a fully functional website that looks like this. It also highlighted the issues as well as her organizational impact thus far, and that will be ongoing as we go. And there's actually some addition to this that we're still building that site a little bit. And it also goes into the specifics of food donations, food safety, donor liability, and has links to her current social media sites, and we're going to be helping her build those more after this project continues.
We're also developing a mapping project. So this one is illustrated here. It's actually an interactive map with donation locations pinned. This particular one is from Food Runners in San Francisco. We're in the process of cataloging all of our donation sites here in the county to be able to do that as well. Easy access.
And in our discovery part of the project, we had a meeting with Catherine Couch of the Series Community Project, and she told us about a potential grant opportunity that was a perfect fit for Sonoma Food Runners. And I worked with June to draft a letter of intent for a $20,000 grant to help with the program startup costs. And it was submitted yesterday to the Specialty Food Foundation.
Yes, so our original goal before our pivot was to connect one store with one senior mobile home park or low-income facility. And I'm happy to say we are well along the goal to making that happen. We're working with Whole Foods on Maluka Avenue in Santa Rosa, as well as the Lamplighter Senior Mobile Home Park on Santa Rosa Avenue to combine really little bits of infrastructure that were already in place and really get this project up and going and help some people who are really in need. At the Lamplighter Senior Mobile Home Park, it was shared with me that there's at least 15 seniors in immediate severe need just there alone.
So we learned that leadership is about it flowing through amongst the group. So Annie was our amazing facilitator, and she put an enormous amount of work into the project. But what we realized was there was always space for everyone to take an initiative, to go the extra mile for the group. And what we concluded was leadership is not about a single person. Leadership is about a shared connection within a group that allows people to step forward and step back based on personal needs and the needs of the group. We also learned about shared communication, which is really important when developing a unified vision. Also, it's important to let your vision evolve. We learned that through our project. And leadership is about seeing opportunities and being able to pivot in order to maximize your impact.
Get involved. So food donation is really the heart of Sonoma Food Runners. It's really that founding force. Farmers would be able to donate whatever produce or product they have, which would have potentially gone into a compost pile. Event coordinators and caterers would be able to donate prepared foods as well. Similar to Sonoma Raceway, which they did with their event last year. And so we cannot emphasize enough of how it really is a community, and we really are all a part of that. And so get involved.
And so we need things, and we need you. So in terms of the we need you side of things, how you can get involved, help out. We need a media spokesperson. We need a grant writer, graphic designer, someone to make phone calls. On the other side of things, we really do need things. We need a van, first and foremost. That would be incredible. Also, coolers, ice packs, aprons, just the basic things needed for these types of things really, really are helpful and greatly appreciated.
So as we close out, this is where you can find our new website. There's a phone number where you can call June. And we just want to emphasize that this is the beginning. We've helped build an infrastructure for that. There are several of us who plan on continuing to work with her to help get going. But her goal, I'm going to say, is, Sonoma Food Runners in San Francisco has 30 years of success doing this. I can't remember their specific statistics, but she's moving in that direction, and she's got passion and energy to do it. And she just needed a little bit of help, and so we were really grateful to be able to connect with her and do this, and to help this partnership move forward, because I know that her mom, people like Amy's mom, and people like me. I was homeless in San Francisco once. I ate in food banks. That we'll be able to provide food to the people who need it. So thanks so much.